What's going on, guys? How's it going? This is Tyler, and today I'm bringing you another video. It's not really going to be an update, I guess. Not really, not in the grand scheme of things. It's more of a what happened to iOSPLANET. The question so many people have been asking for years, and I wished I kind of could take a little more time within this video. I guess I kind of could, but and make it a little more like a documentary and pull some, I don't know, some past footage, some past gameplay and whatnot to kind of reference for what I'm talking about and kind of give a timeline, but I'm not going to do that. I kind of just want to do just a dry, cut and raw version of the timeline that I had within iOSPLANET. Now, I mentioned before within my previous update video, there was a time period within my life that it was just, there was a very adult decisions that were being made, and by adult decisions, that does not mean they were the right decisions. They were by far the furthest thing from that. But that was happening within my life, and so I kind of want to, within this video, touch on a little more of specifics, a little more of what I did to kind of, in my own self, internally, hold on to kind of a sense of I let you guys down, because there were a lot of things that I could have avoided to that would have kept me on the path of continuing what I was already doing. What I did within my timeline was pretty much every decision it took to completely fall off the wagon, and that's what I did. And so in this video, I kind of just want to take you guys down the timeline. Now, a lot of you guys know me as Tyler from iOSPLANET. Of course, the videos started as Greetings, Earthlings. It is Tyler from iOSPLANET, and today I am making a new video. And why I chose that, way back in the day, of course, iOSPLANET, I had just a spur of the moment. I was at my grandma's house for summer vacation one year. I was probably about 13 years old, 14 years old. I had saw a video of a guy making mobile games, but also wanting to bring other people on and kind of have a collective group of mobile gamers within one channel, kind of like a machinima, but for mobile games. And I had sprung on that idea as myself, and I said, well, I can do that as well. But instead of bringing other people on, I already play a mass variety of mobile games. What I could do is be myself and make a collective and stockpile of so many different games and have certain days scheduled for certain games, and then eventually have the whole trademark to bring people on. So eventually the goal was to bring people on, which was kind of what that other guy was doing as well. He fortunately already had a friend on board with it. Now, they didn't really do anything with that. They didn't go too far with it, but that's where iOSPLANET came from, of a collective of all these iOS gamers, right? So that was my idea. I started it up. Nothing was really going anywhere. I made a few videos, but I kind of left it at that. At the time, I had a main YouTube channel, the one that I watched videos and whatnot on, and so I was always on that channel. I wasn't paying attention to iOSPLANET. And one day I went back, and one of the few videos I posted, I saw had almost 1,000 views. It had like 800 views. And for the time being, that was crazy. I was like, oh my goodness, like, this is YouTuber views. Like, if I just go back to this channel and continue what I'm doing, I can continue on this. So, of course, I did that. And the game, of course, you had to really, really find your niche to pull views with the game I was originally starting out on. Well, then, of course, I kept shopping around and watching iOS gamers and whatnot, and I found a game that seemed to be pulling views pretty easily. So I made a video on it, and boom, there it went. Made my first Pixel Gun 3D video, and I started gaining subscribers. I started getting views consistently. I started growing. I was seeing the growth, and within that, I made my first leap within opportunity. I started making, all types of thumbnails. I then began to start brainstorming types of videos, and it just eventually led me into iOSPLANET as a whole. That's what I did all through high school. That's what I did a majority of the time after high school. And yeah, that's pretty much the things of that. So I was just doing that. I was alone. I had my whole, you guys had seen it, my bedroom at the time was just a whole big flat. It was pretty much an apartment. I had my own bathroom, I had my mini fridge up there, I had my setup up there, I had a couch up there, all types of things. It was basically an apartment upstairs. I very rarely went downstairs and like visited with the family and whatnot. I was upstairs playing video games, grinding out videos, and making plans with my friends. And if I did go downstairs, that's what I was doing. I was going to hang out with my friends. And so I did that for a while, and then eventually I started, you know, kind of getting lonely, getting lonesome. And it's like I just graduated, you know, I'm about to graduate. You know, I hadn't really played the game, and you know, I wanted a lady friend. So that's what I did. I jumped into a relationship, and within that, it was, you know, a bunch of juggling time. But at the same time, it was a lot of juggling responsibility, of me knowing and looking at a business and recognizing what I was doing as a business, the money that was coming in as a business, and not as just whatever I saw it as. And so the time that I was using, a lot of the videos I was making wasn't pulling the views I needed to make money. The transitions, the decisions I was making within the channel itself, the true business model. You know, if I had a manager and had partners and whatnot, the decisions that I made, especially to change my name, they would have been against. If I had any sort of like legal team behind me, they would have been against that. Anybody within the game would have known changing my name would have been a huge mistake. Well, I did it. I made that mistake. And of course, my views started declining. Everything about the channel started declining at that very moment. And so within it all, again, I'm new to a relationship. I'm also new to, like, we are adults now. We're creeping into adulthood. You know, it's not just like a high school relationship where we're just kind of playing the game, playing the role. You know, we're out here in the world. We have to be on common ground if we're taking this seriously, right? Because I don't want to be out here playing games. And so we were doing good. We were doing good, and unfortunately, of course, it boiled down to myself. And within YouTube declining and my numbers declining, my paycheck declining, you know, it just became very, very, I had never been in the situation of letting a significant other down, especially in a financial way. So this was like a first lesson for me. Being in kind of like within myself, I came up with more of like olden, like more modern thought. So like the responsibility and the burden of the man type thing is just instilled within me. So that was my first experience of, say, like the man, the head of the household, letting down the female. And I didn't know how to do that. It was very, very difficult for me. So I kind of embodied that, and eventually it made me fall to pieces. And I couldn't do it anymore. And I told her, I was like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what, but we have to break up. So I ended my relationship, and within this time, of course, I'm still kind of on teetering on the last days of iOSPLANET. We moved a little bit forward, and I pretty much jumped directly into another relationship where I could have spent that time, that downtime, and really just going full force and bringing that channel back up where I had made my mistakes and realizing my mistakes. I could have gone and backpedaled and really went full force into iOSPLANET, and I didn't. And so that's where iOSPLANET went. iOSPLANET continued to make decisions that was not for iOSPLANET or the audience. And so within that time period, again, I jumped right into another relationship because I kind of didn't want to spend my time wisely. I wanted to spend my time in a more fantasy style. I wanted to, everything that I wanted to have, right? Because that's kind of the mentality that YouTube kind of put me in, because I could just make a video of whatever game I wanted to play. Money would come in and I could get whatever I wanted. So it was like, it was a mentality, and within that I started living it out within my regular day life. So if I wanted it, that's what I was going with. If it felt good, that's what I was going with. And so that was my first introduction into giving in and indulging within your temptations. And so I went out there into the world and started doing my thing. And not too long after that is where it became incapable of me where I became incapable of making videos anymore was whenever I did start diving into substances. Now, I had tried here and there throughout my life. You know, obviously you get your curiosities, get your opportunities, so you go ahead and take it. I had dabbled. And by dabbling, I don't even mean dabbled. I had tried, like one time, like drugs and alcohol. And by drugs, I mean weed. Weed and alcohol, I had tried once, one single time, throughout my entire life until I hit 18. Once I hit 18, was no longer try, it is now do. I am now doing these things, drugs and alcohol. And so, once I hit 18, completely different story. Of course, I had that first dive into freedom for myself. So I had my car, you know, I would just go wherever. And so within that, I started, of course, getting into different crowds, because of course you may find a friend and then they're wanting to go hang out with a friend, so you go hang out with that friend and their friends, and then you meet an acquaintance of that friend, and then now that friend invites you, and now you're acquaintances with these people. And so it's just a big cycle of you better watch who's in your circle, because if you continue this up, you're not going to know who's in your circle, and you're going to get messed up a lot of times because you just turned a blind eye to a lot of snakes that are in your grass. And so I started living this lifestyle, just go, 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 get, do, you know, and that's pretty much what pulled me in. Of course, I would jump back into YouTube and like make an update video or drop a song or something like that, but that's why I got so deep into music, is that's pretty much the only thing I could do is write my words down. I couldn't record them, didn't want to record them, you know, just at time beings where I could sit there, whether it be drunk or high or just regretting the night before, I could sit there and I would write stuff down, and then I would produce it into music, because I mean, music's always been a passion for mine. So to just go ahead and put those words into music isn't that hard for me. To make it sound good, yeah, that may be a little bit difficult, but I'm not that good at making music. I could just make music. I'm not good at making music. I could just easily make it. But no, so anyway, that's kind of where my life was going, and so I kind of just did that for a while, comfortably numb. I didn't necessarily hold down a job. I kind of got jobs here and there, and would get decent paychecks, and would keep my habits alive and all of that, and just keep things going. But most of the time, I was, you know, either asking for money or doing the last possible thing for a couple dollars. Like $20 would be the stamp of my name. That would be the financial security I had to my name on like weeks on end. Like that day, oh, I only have $20. Like I cannot go past the spending limit of $20 this day. You know, so many days that were like that after YouTube. And so that went on for a while. That went on for quite a few years, kind of being in limbo of not knowing who I wanted to be, what I wanted to be, where I wanted to be, who I wanted to be with, all of these different things, just confusion. And where a lot of people usually find that earlier on, or they're forced into just kind of putting themselves in a place, I was out there just swirling, twirling, just looking around, lost. And so I say I didn't want to. I could have made videos. I was still playing video games. I was still in my room alone. Like I could have taken that time to engage with people. But again, I was either drunk or high or this or that. So to get on camera, and especially where my mind was, how I viewed people in the world and everything like that, it was putrid, it was disgusting, it was vile. I had turned into an entertainer, and pretty much just like the roads of a child star, you see him derail, you see him completely just hit their rock bottom. That's where I went, and I had no reason to. I had my own personal reasons that then later down the lines are it hits me at a realization of, no, those weren't even the reasons those were the excuses I gave myself. But that wasn't the true reason of why I was doing what I was doing. And so all these years, you know, I kind of lied to myself, and then it hit me just a big, just boom of like, no, all of the reasons that you did this was because of you. You made these decisions. You did these things. You chose to try these things. You chose to keep trying these things. I did that. And so that was a big humbling moment. So by the time all of these things happened, spiraled down, you know, iOSPLANET with nothing. It still had the subscribers, but if I posted a video, there was only about to be 40 of you guys watching. And so for me, I was like, you know, this time for me to like throw a video up for about 40 people isn't even worth that time. I might as well apply that time somewhere else. So I started reading. You know, I started reading more. I wasn't playing video games anymore. I even read on stream for a little bit. I could even do that, but as weird as that is. But I started reading more. I still don't even watch movies and like TV shows and stuff like that. I read. I started writing a lot more. I journal now, and that is something that's crazy, because I'm no longer living for myself. I'm living for others. I'm living for my children. So the decisions I make today impact my children. So if I make the decision that every day for the next 30 years, I'm not going to talk to women in a progressive way to then build a future, I will not have children in 30 years. I just sealed my own fate. So at one point in time, I'm going to have to take a step to engage with women in that sense, to follow suit into finding a companion. So all of these different things will eventually come, right? But you have to put in the effort to do it. It's not just going to come. It's not just going to show up. And so if I want to continue YouTube, if I want to engage with you guys, you know, it doesn't matter if it's 40 people, it doesn't matter if it's 50 people, it doesn't matter if it's 12. The effort behind it, just a little bit of effort, is that first step into what's going to blossom. So with me living for my children or living for others now, it's not about how I can apply that time. It's that I do. It's what I did apply that time to. So I wanted to write today, but it's like, you know, I have to have, you know, somebody past me to read it. So I'm going to have that set up. So who's going to be reading my journal when I passed away? You know, who's going to be sharing my art when I'm passed away? Who's going to be running back and watching videos when I'm gone and being like, this is the dude that inspired me? Like, how many people that got into YouTube and actually started seeing just how little you needed to make a video because of my videos? There were so many of you guys that just pulled up your iPad and was like, I can do it directly from my iPad. All I have to have is earbuds that has a microphone built in. And a lot of you guys like even went way past the technology I had, the setup I had. But you guys saw, and you guys were inspired. So you guys progressed. And that right there is something like that I saw firsthand. It wasn't the effort that I was putting in to make videos to get money. It was that I made these videos, and now people know how to drop their gun in critical ops. You know, now people know not to buy certain guns in Pixel Gun because they're trash. You know, it was that effort that I put forward that people were then inspired. People took something from that. And that's what I always try to do. And that's why coming back and letting you guys, and just being sheer with you guys, just being transparent, letting you guys know the journey that it has been to get here. I am thankful for the ones that are still here, because once again, those decisions I was making is in no way deserving for anyone to be here and wanting to see my face and hear my voice and know my story, so on and so forth. I am deeply indebted to so many of you, and I appreciate you for if you're at this point in the time in the video, go ahead. I want the comments to be filled with Cameron and Elliot for the win. I want that in the comments if you made it to 18 minutes and 25 seconds. Cameron and Elliot for the win in the comments. But I love you guys. Thank you guys for being around for so many years. I'm going to be making these videos, just tapping in, just updating, just letting you guys know what's going on. A few vlogs here and there, just showing you guys around, showing you guys scenery that I like, maybe hopping on and showing you guys some art. But for the meantime, I will be trying to get everything prepared and set up to have a hub for YouTube specifically. For whenever I want to sit down, I want to hop on Twitch, or I want to hop on stream, I want to hop on YouTube, whatever it may be, I'm going to be getting that ready for you guys, because I definitely want to hop back in and start engaging with a lot of you lovely people again. But anyway, guys, this was Tyler. I am so thankful that you guys have made it this far, if you have. Again, Cameron and Elliot in the comments. Let's go. And anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, having a great life, and a fantastic future to come. Until next time, this was Tyler. I'll see you guys in the next one.